Laura Blacklock is a top journalist, but her confidence is hollowed by a brutal past. She once arranged an interview with someone desperate to speak, but that person drowned before she could hear the truth. The memory haunts her, making every story feel like walking on thin ice. So when her editor suggests she take a break, Laura reluctantly agrees. That's when she receives an unexpected invitation from the Lindstad Foundation, run by Ann Bullmer, a billionaire philanthropist diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Ann's husband, Richard Bullmer, is hosting a private luxury yacht trip for board members and select journalists to announce a new global charity initiative in Ann's name. The trip will be exclusive, elegant, and intimate, only 10 passengers in total. For Laura, it sounds like a simple assignment, a feel-good piece about wealth and charity. No blood, no lies, no danger. Or so she thinks. Laura arrives at the dock. She's greeted by the chief steward, Carla, who kindly asks her to remove her shoes before boarding. It's yacht etiquette, something Laura clearly isn't used to. She's led through gleaming corridors to cabin 8, her assigned room. Just across the narrow balcony sits cabin 10, empty and locked. At least, that's what she's told. As she settles in, Laura is startled by a flicker of ash landing near her foot. She looks up. Someone from cabin 10 just flicked a cigarette over the balcony divider. The glimpse is brief. A woman. Laura calls out, but there's no reply. That evening, the guests gather in the dining salon. Richard Bullmer, tall and confident, welcomes everyone aboard. He explains that Anne isn't feeling well and will join them the next day. Among the guests, Laura recognizes a familiar face, her ex-boyfriend, Ben Morgan, who now works as the ship's event photographer. His presence instantly unbalances her. Later, Laura is given special treatment. She's escorted to meet Anne, in her private quarters by Sigrid, Anne's head of security. Anne, pale and fragile, confesses that she plans to donate her entire fortune through the foundation, completely independent of Richard's control. She also admits she's stopped taking her medications. Laura reads the speech Anne intends to deliver at the upcoming gala. It's radical and generous. Laura promises to keep everything confidential. Anne smiles faintly. Tomorrow, we'll continue. I have something to show you, but that tomorrow never comes. Late that night, she jolts awake to sounds from the room next door, muffled cries, thuds. She rushes to her balcony and freezes. A woman drifts in the water beneath the yacht. Laura screams for help, calls security, demands an investigation. A code red is declared. But when the captain arrives, everything takes a twist. There was never a guest in cabin 10, he insists. The person who booked it canceled days ago. Laura argues back, insisting she saw blood on the balcony glass. But when they check, it's spotless. The cigarette she threw away? Gone. The trash bin? Empty. Every trace of her story, erased. The captain wakes all passengers, performs a head count. Everyone is present. The only one briefly missing is Lars Jensen, but he turns up minutes later in the library. Maybe you dreamed it, the captain says gently. But Laura knows what she saw. The next morning, Laura's Wi-Fi mysteriously crashes. Frustrated, she searches for Ben and tells him everything. He's skeptical, but sympathetic. She asks to see all the photos he's taken during the trip, and one of them freezes her blood. It's the same blonde woman from cabin 10. Ben says he took that shot months ago, at another event hosted by Richard. Laura storms off to confront Richard. "This is her! The woman in cabin 10!" she shouts. But Richard and the guests all deny ever seeing her. Even Dr. Mehta and Lars shake their heads. Then Dr. Mehta quietly pulls Laura aside. "You witnessed a drowning once, didn't you?" he says. "Sometimes trauma makes us see things that aren't there." Laura walks away, furious. She's not hallucinating. To calm her nerves, Richard arranges a spa appointment for her. The air smells of lavender and oils. For a brief moment, she feels safe. Then she steps into the shower and freezes. Someone has written the word stop across the fogged glass. She rushes out, half-dressed, demanding answers. No one admits it. The security cameras? Deactivated. Later, she showers again and sees strands of blonde hair swirling down the drain. Her instincts ignite. She sneaks into cabin 10 using the balcony divider. Inside, she finds hair tangled in the sink. She bags it in plastic and runs to Ben. "This is her! Proof!" she says breathlessly. Ben tries to calm her. "If we don't find out who she is by the end of the trip, I'll go to the police with you. But for now, stop digging. You don't know who you're dealing with." Reluctantly, Laura hides the hair back in the drain. The next morning, she notices a button on her cabin floor. It doesn't belong to her. She pockets it. Later, while walking on deck, someone shoves her. Hard. She tumbles into the pool. Before she can swim up, the pool's automatic cover slides shut above her. Panic. She thrashes, pounding the surface as her lungs burn. Fortunately, some guests save her in time. "Someone pushed me!" she screams. "Someone's trying to kill me!" The crew exchange uneasy glances. Richard claims she must have slipped. Then she notices it. Dr. Maida's shirt is missing a button. The same kind she found in her cabin. She confronts him, but he denies everything. Later, she rushes to retrieve the blonde hair, but it's gone. "You told someone," she accuses Ben. He looks guilty. "I had to, so they'd believe you." Now everyone on board treats her like she's lost her mind. That night, there's a knock at her door. Laura peeks through the peephole, sees a shadow moving down the corridor. She follows quietly through narrow halls, past humming engines and metal pipes. Then she freezes. It's the blonde woman from cabin 10. The woman says, "You've seen me now. Drop it." Before Laura can react, the woman knocks her out. Laura wakes in a sealed storage room. No ladder, no exit, no hope. Slowly, the truth unravels. The woman she saw that night wasn't a ghost. It was Anne. The Anne, on board now, is an imposter. Carrie. Carrie explains that Richard hired her months ago using Lars's facial recognition software to find a woman who looked just like Anne. The plan was simple. She'd impersonate Anne long enough to sign legal documents securing the foundation and keeping Richard in control. But when the real Anne discovered Carrie and Richard together in cabin 10 that night, she panicked. They fought. Richard tried to calm her, but in the struggle he killed her. Then he threw her overboard and cleaned up the scene. Carrie admits she only accepted the job because Richard threatened her daughter. She never intended for anyone to die. Laura whispers, "He'll kill you too, once he gets what he wants." Above deck, Richard, Meta, and the captain coordinate to hunt Laura down. They pretend to search, but they're really covering their tracks. Ben finds Laura first. He helps her escape through a maintenance hatch. They try to reach the ship's radio, but Dr. Meta intercepts them. He lunges at Laura with a syringe in the dark corridor. Ben intervenes. The syringe hits him instead. He collapses. Laura flees through a porthole, plunging into the icy ocean. She fights, swimming until the yacht's lights fade behind her. Meanwhile, aboard the yacht, Richard orders Maida to ensure Laura does not survive the water. Then he focuses on the evening's gala, the perfect cover to sign Anne's will. Hours later, Laura sneaks into the venue in borrowed clothes. She carries Anne's original, unsigned will, the one she stole from her quarters before escaping. At the gala, the room is packed with politicians, elite guests, and media. Laura bursts in, hijacks the microphone. Her voice shakes, but it's strong. Carrie is not Anne. The real Anne is dead. Richard murdered her to steal her foundation. Security rushes forward, but Carrie lifts a trembling hand. "Let her speak," she says. Laura holds up the document. "This is Anne's real will. She wanted to donate everything to the foundation, not to Richard. He killed her to stop it." Richard shouts to cut the microphones, but it's too late. Cameras are rolling. The crowd murmurs. Carrie nods through tears. "It's true. I'm not Anne." Suddenly, Richard grabs Carrie, presses a knife to her throat, and drags her toward the dock. "You ruined everything!" he screams. From a distance, Sigrid takes aim, one shot. Richard staggers, hit in the shoulder, but he still lunges again, wild with rage. Laura steps forward and stabs him with his own knife. The villain falls. After everything, Laura finally told the story that was stolen from her once. And somewhere, across the quiet waves, the ghost of Anne Bullmer finally rests. And with that, friends, this story comes to an end. If you enjoyed this recap, hit the like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more mind-bending thrillers just like this one. Until next time, stay curious, and don't ignore the woman in cabin 10.